Hey, this is Blair McGregor from Tech City, and we're going to do an Apple Watch unboxing video today. Just got this to my door about an hour ago, so we're going to check this out and give you guys a first glimpse. I apologize in advance for the amateur quality of it. I still haven't gotten a tripod for my camera yet, but most of these unboxing videos are pretty amateur to begin with, so I hope you won't be too upset. So here we go. What's interesting first, even before we open it, is the fact that this comes in this sort of longer box like this. The first videos that we saw of the watch's unveiling, the box was a little bit shorter and a little bit wider. It wasn't this sort of long pencil-like shape. So it's kind of an interesting little quirk. I don't know if the US shipments are a little bit different, or maybe Apple's just trolling me and sending me a giant cord in the box. I don't know. We'll find out though. So we got a strap here, and we're going to open it up. Gonna open this up from the top like so. Let's get a good glimpse of it. Pull this out together. This is going to require a little bit more finagling, I think. Pry this open here. Probably end up ripping it out from the top, but that's okay. Alright, here we go. So, here we are. The Apple Watch. You can see the symbol and the text on the box itself. But it is interesting how this box is a little bit different than I suspected. Maybe like I said, maybe the U.S. shipments are a little bit different, but it's your typical white box. This is the model I got. I got this. I ended up getting the silver aluminum, just because I wasn't necessarily sold on the space black. I know a lot of people like that. That ended up being the most popular model, certainly for the 42 millimeter case, but. I went with the silver. I like the green band. I'm guessing a lot of people didn't, which is maybe the reason why I ended up getting one in the first shipment, although I did stay awake past the 3 a.m. deadline. So, all right, let's get this thing opened up, and let's take a look inside. Get myself a scissor or a key. Let's see if I can get this. See if I can pry it with my fingers, or am I going to need a car key? Never have nails, so these things aren't always the best. I'll probably cut out most of this. We'll just skip ahead. So you don't have to watch me try and open packaging, because I'm notoriously bad at it. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's get a photo on it. Let's it up. And here we go. Let's take a look and see what's under the hood. Ta-da! Oh, another box. Which is not surprising. This is the box that it comes in. So this should be everything. Designed by Apple in California. Very simple box. I think there's probably a manual and the charger underneath. But this is the actual case, if you can see that. And so we're going to take the plastic wrap off. Get some more wrap. Oh, here you go. Pull here. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. Ta-da! And here we go. Nice little case here. This is going to be good for storage, so we can find a place to keep this. And here we go. Ta-da! Yeah. Here you go. Here's your 42-inch. Now, I haven't seen it in the stores yet. I decided to pick it up sight unseen. So you're looking at it for the first time, just the same way I am. This is again, the 42 millimeter, which, wow, I mean, that's still pretty small for a watch. And I know people had made comments about, the fact that being that the watch has a square body, it's actually shorter and not quite as big as the watches that have that round shape, at least in terms of area. So let's pull this out of its cage here, and here you go. Got some protective straps, protective cover here on the case, which we're going to pull off. This is the bottom of the watch. So you've got the inductive charger that's used to charge the device. You've got the digital crown over here. Very small, very subtle. But it's a really pretty interesting device. And so let's put this to the side over here for now, and let's see what else is in the box here. So obviously we have our case. This is where we're going to store everything. Obviously contoured to the shape of the watch. So let's see what else we have in store here. Again, we've got the design by Apple California. Yep. And when you pull this out, you've got your inductive charger. You've got yet another Apple plug, which is good for me because I actually just recently left one at my girlfriend's house, so now I have yet another. And this is the magnetic strip. Now, people had said to me that this was much longer than some of the other cords that Apple's making. You could definitely see that. Let's take a look. Open it up and see what we got. Yeah, I mean, you could tell already that this is much longer. So this is good if you've got sort of a path from your bedroom drawer set to where your bed is, because I imagine most of you will be charging this bedside, although you don't have to necessarily, but I probably will just because I'll use it as an alarm. So I'm going to keep this bedside, and so this is good. This will actually stretch a little bit longer than your prototypical lightning charger or non-lightning charger for the older iPod or iPad models. So if we rip this off, just to kind of test it, take off the sticker, and if we put this up against the body of the watch, this is where the magnetic part should come into play here. Let's just take that off. Yeah, you can see this part here, I believe, is where it goes in. So if you look at this from the perspective of the body, and you want to remove this, so you can see it's going to go right in. Move this, right? So you go here, and boom, there it is. There's your mag strip. Just claps in like that. It's actually really interesting. There's no actual clasp here. It really functions more or less like a magnet. So this is really nifty. So let's take a look and see if we have a quick start guide, and we can get this thing turned on. Let's see. Should be something here at the bottom, I would think, or probably something in here. Here you go. Here's your Apple Watch kind of a quick start guide. Okay. Fit and adjust. Of course, that has to happen. We've got to do that next. Let's just copyright. Here's the extra band. So this is, I believe, the smaller version. It comes with 2 bands, depending on the color you got. They are the same color, but one is shorter than the other. So if you've got a smaller wrist, you have the smaller one there for your convenience. You don't have to pay for another one, which is good. So here's our initial kind of instructions. Welcome to Apple Watch. To get started, put in your Apple Watch. Install the latest version of iOS on your phone, which I did. Then open the Apple Watch app on iPhone, which I will do in a moment. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and pair the Apple Watch with the iPhone. I've got an iPhone 5 here. Just note that in order for this to work, you need to upgrade to iOS 8.3. It doesn't matter whether you have the Apple Watch app on your phone. You have to upgrade to 8.3. So if you haven't done that yet, pause this video, come back when you've downloaded it, and you'll save yourself some time. So we're going to go ahead and pick English, obviously, as our language for the watch. And then we're going to initiate the pairing on both the phone and the watch. So we're going to start pairing. And we're going to put this right in front of the iPhone camera, so you can see. So we've got it paired up. Now we're going to set up. So it's asking me on which wrist do I wear the Apple Watch. I'm going to say my left. So I got to go through all my terms and conditions, yada yada yada. We will agree. Agree again. Okay, I'm going to enter my password, so hold on and let me do that. Okay, so my Apple ID is ready to go. So I click next. Okay, we're going to do a 2-step verification. So this is the same 2-step verification that's done on several devices. So what we're going to do is verify with my iPhone 5. We're going to send it. So got my verification code. Enter that in. Wait for this thing to verify and load. Okay, so first it's going to ask us about location services. So obviously this is enabled on the iPhone by default, so it's going to enable it on the watch as well, which is great because we want to be able to use the watch for maps and for different applications that may use the location services. So we'll click OK. Siri, obviously you know what Siri is, so we're going to enable that on the watch as well. Diagnostics, that's just your typical Apple diagnostic data, which is fine with me. You can send it. And now we're going to create a passcode for the app, so let's do that. And it asks me to properly put that in on the watch itself, so let me go do that. Re-entering. And there you go. So now it's telling me to install all available apps. So obviously, since most of the apps, all of the apps right now are not native to the device, basically the WatchCode extension allows for the iPhone apps to extend to the watch. So the ones that are available and the ones that have been upgraded in order to function with the watch are going to install. So we're going to install those right now. And we're getting the message that the watch is syncing. So we'll see how long this ultimately takes. So we're almost set up, and we got a little A little taptic tap, and here we go. Here's our calendar. Beautiful, beautiful screen. So let's, if I remember correctly, we can, let's see, we've got our glances. We can move that up. We can set up the activity app. You know, again, these are very small, but we're going to scroll up and across. Here's our calendar. Here's the weather, which is loading. The fact that it's my girlfriend's town is quite funny. Maybe that's pulling that from the phone. I'll have to change that to my town. Here are your stock quotes. Dow's up pretty big today. And here are your maps. So let's see how long this takes to load. It's got my current location, which I won't disclose to everybody, but you can tell where it is, and it's, you know, the same, obviously, on the map itself. So here, back to New York, back to time. So yeah, these are your glances. I'll set up the activity app later. We'll work on that. Here's my battery life. So I'm going to have to probably plug it in at some point. Your heart rate, which I was trying to measure, but obviously since I'm not wearing it, I imagine that'll be pretty tough. And then here's my music if I want to sync this with iTunes, which we'll look at later. Showing it as connected to my Wi-Fi. So that's pretty much that. We've got notifications. It's going to take a little while to get used to this, I think, for most people. Since it's not quite as intuitive as maybe some Apple devices are. It actually reminds me a little bit, because I had the opportunity to try and use Google Glass. It has that same kind of feel to it, just initially, and you know, I read all of the reviews and I saw a lot of the first-hand experience with the watch, but it feels like Glances take a similar tack to the way they did it with Glass, where it's a little bit unintuitive at first. You don't really know what's a glance and what isn't. But I imagine, you know, once you kind of get used to it, it'll probably be pretty easy. So let's go back on the Digital Crown and go to our home screen. So here's our apps. I can click around, which is good. So let's say I want to just go right to the weather app, which I can do. Let's see what we got. Yeah, now it's showing my town, so that's good. So you can cycle through. Here's New York. Here's Austin, Texas, which I spent some time in last summer. I actually still have it saved on my iPhone as far as the weather, so that's that. Certainly look a lot nicer than New York is right about now. And then if you want to go back to the time, you just go back, and there you are. So that's a first kind of glimpse of it, from unboxing to initial setup. Check back with us a little bit later. We're going to do some more videos, and obviously we're going to put together some more tutorials. So yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned.